another lookbook video of where I tell you guys what my makeup looks are for the week. I actually forgot to film my look yesterday because I kind of left the house in a rush because my boyfriend was hungry, so I wanted to go pick us up some food, and I was getting really hungry too, so I left like really early yesterday. But I did wear the Oden's Eye Flora Story palette yesterday, the one by Makeup Just for Fun. And it just had like, it wasn't really my favorite look because I think I've told you guys before that I don't really love that palette. So it's not the end of the universe that I didn't share that look because it honestly wasn't really that great looking. The best things about that palette are the shimmers, so the mattes just are not great. So that's what I wore yesterday. So today I just went in with my ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then of course the Dewdrop Lip Oil and my Pretty Fresh powder to set my eyes. And then for my eyes today, I decided to use the Not a Box of Chocolates palette by ColourPop. I just felt like doing a neutral eye today, and I love this palette from ColourPop. This is probably the last palette from ColourPop that I really love. The palettes that I've gotten this year, I'm really not in love with. This one is so good though. So I wanted to whip this out and use it today. I was actually like looking back on one of my videos from the Sephora VIB sale last winter, and I was wearing this palette in that video. And I was like, ooh, I should whip that out and use it again. So I decided to use it. So I used Praline in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Tiramisu, and then I used That's Rich on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went in with my favorite shade from the palette, which is Honeycomb Crunch, and it's just such a stunning, like, bronzy, goldy metallic. And then for the inner corners, I used Champagne Truffle, and that's all I used from the palette. I didn't feel like smudging anything. I always end up using the same mattes from this palette like a lot because those are like my 3 favorite shades from the palette. But I'm pretty sure I used those mattes the last time that I used this palette. I don't know how the heck I got eyeshadow on my hand already, but yeah, I love this palette, so I could say that like a gajillion times, and I feel like I just stuck my thumb into the same shade that I just got the pigment on, but it's fine. So, and then I just used Blanc Type by MAC on my brow bone. And then for liner and mascara, I just went in with my Essence Lash Primer, and then I went in with my brown liner from LA Girl in the shade Brown. And then I used the Milani Anti-Gravity Mascara. I think I've been more into this mascara than I was when I first got it. I think it looks better than it was. Before, I thought it was just like super dry and like wasn't really that nice looking on the lashes, but now I think it's a nice mascara, so I don't like it. I definitely like it way more than I thought I did. And then I just used my Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. I don't know what is going on with this today. I need to put this palette away, and then we'll create a little bit more room for myself up here. And then for my face, I used the my Do It spray from Forthright Beauty, and then I used the Say Glowy Super Gel Star Glow Primer. Y'all know how much I've been loving this primer. It's so nice. And then for my foundation, I wanted to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. Y'all know this is like one of my all-time favorite foundations, so I just wanted to whip it out and use it today. It makes my skin look amazing. And I'm in the shade 110C. And then for my concealer, I used my NYX Serum Concealer. I haven't used this in a while. This is the Bear With Me Concealer Serum in the shade Fair. This is just the lightest shade that they offer. I really love this concealer still. It's a really good one. And then for my powder, I just went in with the Haus Labs Blurring Powder again. Really nice powder. And then I just set the rest of my face with my Pretty Fresh powder, of course. What else am I going to use? And then for bronzer, I wanted to go into the Ilia bronzer again. So I used the Night Light bronzing powder in the shade Drawn In. Really love this bronzer. And then for blush, I just wanted to go in with a ColourPop blush, and I really love this one. It's kind of like a peachy nude, so this is the shade No Rules. And it's a really beautiful, just like everyday nude shade, so I really like that one. And then for highlight, I decided to go in with the Catrice More Than Glow highlighter in the shade Beyond Golden Glow. And this one is also a very pretty, like, goldish highlighter. I haven't used this in a while, and I thought it would be really pretty with the lid shade that I use, so I just used that. And then I just set my face again with the Do It spray, and I used the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. Now, for my lips, I have a little bit of thoughts about this. So this finally came in the mail yesterday, so I was able to try it today because I thought it would be really pretty with the shirt that I'm wearing. So I was like, ooh, I can use the Rare Beauty lip oil today because I was planning to wear like something completely different, and then I wanted to wear a different shirt, but I was like, let me wear this one because I just bought this. And I thought that this lip color would go really nicely with it. So this is the brand new Rare Beauty tinted lip oil in the shade Joy. Now this took at least 2 weeks to come to me. So I tried this on last night and I thought it was really nice looking. I do think it looks so pretty. I do love the finish of it, but it has like this weird taste to it, and I didn't really think it tasted weird last night when I put it on. But I remember watching Angelica Nyquist's video on her trying this and also talking about it in her recent haul video. She said that they don't taste good. She's like, they taste like bitter apple. I don't really taste that. I'm kind of tasting like kind of almost like a Vaseline-y feeling. And also, I feel like that this has like some lip plumping in it because it makes my lips feel a bit tingly, but I don't mind it because it's actually like comfortable. But the taste of it is almost making me feel a little bit nauseous. So, I mean, I blotted it a lot, so it kind of just looks like a shiny lip stain. But people are saying that, I mean, this isn't really a lip oil, and pretty much Angelica Nyquist was right about them kind of mismarketing this. It's not a lip oil. This is like a watery liquid lipstick, and it reminds me of another formula that I can't quite put my finger on, but it's like another one that has a very watery consistency, and it's a bit more cooling on the lips. But I don't know if I love this product, but I'm gonna have to wear it throughout the day. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today, and I will see you guys for the next look tomorrow. Okay, so hey guys, I wanted to tell you about another look today. I did actually work earlier, so I wanted to wear like this orangey kind of look because I wore my like butterfly t-shirt that I got from Lucky last year. I love this shirt, so I just really wanted to wear it, and I had like a whole look in mind to do with the shirt, but the look is a bit vibrant, but I really like how my eyeshadow turned out today. So for my primer, I just used the Anastasia eye primer and then just my Dewdrop lip oil, and then I set my eyes with my Dior powder. And then for the eyes today, I went in with the Oden's Eye Planet Spirit palette by Batty Bean and Oden's Eye. I actually haven't used this palette in a while, but I knew I was going to start using this palette more so in the like spring, summer. Even though it's been spring for a while, it really hasn't been that warm here. So I wanted to do this orangey look today, and I did this look actually in my first impressions video. And I used the same shades because I literally have only used these shimmers in here once because I only had been able to test out the shimmers in here, and then I haven't touched this palette again because there were other palettes that came into my collection. I wanted to rotate other things, but I just really wanted to use this today, so I do want to use it a couple more times in this spring summer season. So for the crease, I use the shade Habitat, and then I use the shade Sanctuary in the defining area and also in the outer corners. And they are such vibrant mattes that like you don't really need more than like 2 mattes on the crease, because they just look like you've done a lot more with your makeup than you actually did. And they just look so good. And this is literally how intense they were when I first put them on. Like, they don't fade or anything. And then for the lid, I put on Animalia, and it's such a beautiful, like, it almost reminds me of like a Super Shock formula, because this shade is a lot more tackier to the lid, so it doesn't really transfer too much at all. It has a bit more of like a harder formula, but those are the type of formulas that I really like for myself, because I feel like I have slightly hooded eyes, so that type of formula is really good for me because then it doesn't really crease at all. Um, it's very similar, honestly, to the shade that I think that this is similar to in the Nomad palette, in the Verona palette. There's like a reddish burnt orangey kind of color in there as well, and they almost have the same formula because they have like that super sparkly glittery kind of texture, and they're both like super vibrant mattes and shimmers. So I love this palette. And then I took the shade Majestic on the inner corners, and it's such a stunning like multi-dimensional gold. I don't know why there's a crease there, that's annoying me. And then for the lower lash line, I used the shade Kingdom because I wanted to pick up some of the green in the shirt. And I love how this look turned out. It turned out really pretty. So hopefully I'll be able to use this palette again in like a week or two. We'll see. And then for my liner, I used the Outer Space liner from ColourPop because I also wanted to pick up some of the blue in the shirt. This is almost like a navy, like black almost. It's a really pretty one. This one actually lasts quite a while, but honestly, it looks like black more so than blue on the waterline. And then I just primed my lashes with the Essence Lash Primer, and then I used my Gwen Stefani Can't Stop Staring mascara because y'all know I love this. And then for my lower lash line and lower lashes, I just used the Maybelline Lash Discovery. And then for my primer, I used the Do It Spray, of course, and then I used my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I am pretty much almost out of this. I think I'm going to replace this with getting the new e.l.f. Primer that's like this with niacinamide. I kind of want to try that one. I don't know why I'm so intrigued to try e.l.f. primers, but they end up being my favorites. I have like 3 e.l.f. primers and I've loved every single one, but I really do love this primer. So but yeah, it's almost done, so I do need something like that soon. And then for my foundation, I used one of my favorites, which is the Very Valentino Broad Spectrum SPF 26 Light Lasting Perfecting Foundation in the shade Light R2. This actually expired in December, but I'm trying to use it up. And honestly, it doesn't smell off or anything like that. It doesn't break me out. And it still looks great on my skin, and I've been wearing it for like 5 or 6 hours. It did get a bit dewy, but it still looks really good. Because I wanted to wear the coinciding concealer again, so I did wear the Valentino Light R1 concealer. I don't know if I really like this concealer, you guys. It really did crease badly underneath my eyes. And this is like the 4th time I think I've worn this concealer, and it pretty much does this every single time. Like this, like literally it's showing like all of my eyeshadow transfer and stuff, and that does not happen with other concealers in my collection. So I don't know. I'm not like completely sold on this concealer, and it's too expensive for me to not love it. So I might be returning this or exchanging it for something else. Because that's usually how the Afterpay returns work, is that you have to exchange it for something. They don't give you a full credit on it because I didn't pay for it with like my debit card or my Sephora card. And then for the powder, again, I just went in with the Dior powder. I did set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath powder. And then for my bronzer, blush, and highlight, I used the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01. Y'all know I love this bronzer, so I just wanted to use it today, show it some love. And then for my blush, since I wore the butterfly corally shirt, I wanted to wear my butterfly blush by Benefit because literally this shirt was made for this blush. So, and I also wore my butterfly choker from Lucky. But yeah, I love this blush. It's such a gorgeous, like, vibrant orange, and I haven't worn this in a hot minute, and I really want to wear this more in the spring and summer because it's such a beautiful spring and summer blush. And then for my highlight, I use the Diamond Dasher highlighter by Kaleidos. And again, this is a stunning, stunning highlight. I don't know why the hell the insert just flew out, but it's a really beautiful... Where did it go? Okay, I'm not really sure where that insert just went, but yeah, I used the Kaleidos highlighter and I love it. I'm completely obsessed. It's just as intense now as it was when I first put it on, so I love Kaleidos highlighters. This is how the Haus Labs highlighter should have performed, is just as good as this, because this is not as expensive as that, and that one faded at the end of the day. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Spray as per usual. And then I just set my brows with my e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I lined my lips first with my favorite lip liner from ColourPop, which is Minuteman. And then I went in with the Haus Labs Atomic Shake lip lacquer in the shade Sierra. And this is a really beautiful, like, orangey kind of nude. I was going to go in with something more orange. I pulled out this Harry Potter one in the shade Hermione, but I was like, since the eyes are so orange, I was like, I don't want to be like that orange on the lips, so I decided to go with something a little bit more muted. And I also forgot to bring this with me to work. But these last so well on the lips that, like, if you just don't wipe it, like, after I eat my food, and I had pizza earlier, so I didn't really have to wipe anything off my mouth because I kind of just blotted my mouth a little bit, but, like, these don't really transfer at all, so, like, it didn't move. That's why I really like these lippies, because it's a shiny lip lacquer without it, like, it literally is like cement on your lips, but it's not uncomfortable at all. Like, I really love this formula. So some people don't like this, but I really like it because it's a glossy lip without worrying about putting a gloss on to make a liquid lipstick not last as long. So yeah, that is it, you guys. I will see you for another look tomorrow, and I'm actually gonna do some fun looks this weekend as well because I have plans tomorrow night, and then Sunday I'm working, so I'm going to be wearing a little bit more colorful looks. So yeah, bye! Okay, so hey there, guys. I wanted to tell you about another look, and I'm really obsessed with the way that this look turned out. I think it looks so good. So I just primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer. I'm probably going to be using this all weekend because I'm actually going out and doing things. And then I just used my Dewdrop lip oil, and then I set my eyes with my Urban Decay. I just put on perfume, so I'm kind of like coughing from that. So forgive me if I keep on coughing. And then for my powder, I used the Urban Decay Stay Naked powder. And then for my eyes, I wanted to go in with the Nomad Royal Europe palette today because I wanted to wear this kimono. This is like one of my most favorite things that I have in my wardrobe, and I haven't been able to wear this in such a long time, so I wanted to wear it today because it's like a pretty warm day today, so I wanted to wear it. And also I knew that I wanted to use this palette today, and also there's so many good colors that go with this kimono so perfectly, so I was like, I have to use them together. So for my eyes, I used the shade Willow Palace in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Hall of Mirrors, and then on the outer corners, I just went in with the brown, which is Neptune Fountain. And then for the lid, I used the shade Royal Orb, and it's just such a gorgeous, like, greenish, yellowish, multi-chrome beautifulness. And then for the lower lash line, I use the shade Buckingham Palace just so I could pick up a little bit of like the purple. And then for the inner corners, I just went in with the shade that I usually use, which is Imperial Crown. And I'm absolutely obsessed with the way that this turned out. I love that I got to incorporate most of the colors of the kimono from the actual palette. I was thinking about using a bit of the red as well with the purple on the lower lash line, but I was like, I think that would just be too much because the blues and greens in this palette are already so vibrant that I didn't really need to add any more color on the lower lash line. So I thought that the purple would be a good contrast and it still wouldn't be like too much eyeshadow, you know. I mean, y'all know I can never have enough eyeshadow, but I love this palette. They really did knock it out of the park with the quality, and I did want to use it again soon, so I'm so happy that I was able to use that one today. And then for my liner, I went in with the last shade of the ColourPop Cream Gel liners that I haven't used yet. And this one's in the shade Joyride, and this one's kind of like a burgundy red. So this picked up that red that I was wanting to pick up in the kimono because there's actually some red, I believe, on the back. Yeah, right here. So I wanted to pick up a little bit of that color too because I'm a little bit crazy sometimes. And then for the mascara and everything, I just want to put this back because I'm actually about to try and film my haul video before my friend gets here. So we're gonna have to do that like lightning fast. I still have like 35 minutes until he gets here, so. And then for my mascara, I used the Fenty Beauty Hella Thick mascara again, and just my Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes, and just my Essence Lash Primer. And then I primed my face with the Do It spray, and then my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation, I wanted to go in with the Makeup by Mario foundation, the Surreal Skin foundation in the shade 1C. So I wanted to use that today, and I think it looks amazing on my skin today. It really just, when you put this on like full coverage, it looks so nice. And I kind of just wanted something dewy and glowy. And like I said, I really do love the finish of this foundation. I put my concealer away, and I don't know why I did that because I needed it for this. Actually, it's probably in front of me, and I'm just blind. Where did I... It's right in front of me. I'm sorry. So for my concealer, I used my Cover FX concealer. This is the Power Play concealer, and this is in the shade N Fair 2. I can see a bit of creasing already, but I'm obviously not going to take off all my makeup again just to reapply my concealer. And then I just set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath powder. And then I just set my face again with the Urban Decay Stay Naked powder. And then for bronzer, blush, and highlight. For bronzer, I used my Pat McGrath Labs Naked Desire bronzer. So I used that. It's still like not too vibrant, but I kind of like that this is a little bit more subtle because, again, like my eye look was so bold. So I kind of like a more subtle bronzer sometimes when I do like something a little bit more vibrant. And then for my blush, I wasn't sure if I was going to use this one, but I still had not used it yet since I have gotten it. Like, I have not used it at all because I just have done looks where I don't think that this blush is going to go. But I finally decided to just use it today, and I think it looks really, really pretty. I knew it would look pretty. I just didn't know if it was going to be too much, but I think it looks great. So I used the Alice in Wonderland Queen of Hearts blush finally, and this one's in the shade Silence, and this one's like a really vibrant red. And I took like the tiniest amount, like literally I just dipped, like booped like this, literally with my brush, and then I like dabbed it off with my tissue, and it's still applied like so intensely because it is a bit powdery, but it just literally like applies in like 2 seconds. It's so pigmented. So just use a light hand, but it shows up really beautifully. But like this is like where I wanted the pigmentation to be at, was literally just this, and it looks so good. And then for my highlighter, since I used the other Kaleidos highlighter yesterday, I wanted to use this one today. I was actually just going to go in with one of my Blend Bunny highlighters from the Noctilucent palette, but then I thought that this color would look so pretty with this look. So I used the shade Solar Sailor, and it looks literally amazing. This is one of my favorite highlighters I own. I just hadn't used it in a while. I usually use these more so in the summertime. It's like a greenish, goldish yellow, and it's so gorgeous. So it went perfectly with my eyes. And then I just set my face with my Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I just used my e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lip liner, I used ColourPop's Cool BFF. I don't know why the cap already came off. I don't even know where the cap went. Oh well, it's somewhere in the drawer. And then for my lips, I just went in with an oldie but a goodie. This is the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Lulu, and I thought this was such a pretty color because it's kind of pinky peachy undertone, and I kind of like this shade a little bit more than if I would have used like a straight up peach, because like I feel like a peach would be wrong for this, and this is like a nice toned down lippy for the really bold eyes. So yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys for the next look tomorrow. I'm actually going to be heading out for a game night with my friends, so I'm very excited. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so hey guys, I wanted to tell you what's on my face today for another look. So I did work today. I actually just got home like 10 minutes ago. So I used my usual Anastasia eye primer. I'm not going to take it out again. And then just my Dewdrop lip oil, and then the Urban Decay setting powder to set my eyes. And then for the eyeshadow today, I decided to go in with two Natasha Denona palettes today. So I combined my Dream palette and the Retro palette together. I don't know why I haven't done this before, but I really wanted to wear my Dream palette today, and I wanted to use a couple of mattes from the Natasha Denona Retro palette. So from the Retro palette, I kind of went back and forth between the two. From the Retro palette, I used the shade Andy in the crease. And then I went into the Dream palette, and I used Instinct to darken it up. And then I used the shade Edgy on the outer corners. And then for the lid shade, I really wanted to go in with Vision, because I actually have only used this shade once, and I've been dying to use it again, and I finally did. And then from the Retro palette, I went in with the shade MOD on the brow bone, and then for the lower lash line and the inner corners, I used Groove on the lower lash line, and then I used the shade Glitz on the inner corners. And I really like how the looks turned out. I don't know why I haven't combined these two together yet, but they have such like similar undertones, and they just work well together, and you can combine them to create some beautiful looks. Also, all the mattes that I used on the upper part were all the cream to powder mattes, that Andy shade and the other two shades from my Dream palette, and they just work so well, and they blend so beautifully. So I really love the cream to powder formula from Natasha Denona. They're just so good. And then for my liner, I used the shade Charmer from one of the ColourPop Cream Gel liners. And then I just primed with my Essence Lash Primer. And then I used my Give by Gwen Stefani Can't Stop Staring mascara and my Maybelline Lash Discovery. I didn't really have too much time to get ready this morning because I did get home late last night from the game night with my friends. And I basically got ready at like 11:25, and I finished at like 11:50 something. So yeah, I just grabbed the mascara. I knew that was going to work. So I love that mascara. And then I primed my face with the same primer that I used yesterday, the Do It spray, and then the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer or Hydro Grip Primer. I never freaking remember the name of it. I don't even know where it is right now. I don't know where it is. But it's like the dupe for the Milk Makeup one. And then for my foundation, I used my YSL All Hours foundation. And this one's in the shade B10 Porcelain. I just love this foundation. It looks so good on the skin, and it still looks good right now. My, like, around my nose area, it's a little bit dry right now. So, it's just emphasizing a bit of my dryness, but that's just my skin. And then for my concealer, I used the Urban Decay Quickie Concealer again in the shade 10NN. I still really like this concealer. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath powder, and then set my face with the Urban Decay powder, the Stay Naked powder. And then for bronzer, I just went in with my Haus Labs bronzer in the shade Light Level 1. This one is the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. Y'all know how much I love this bronzer. And then for the blush, I went in with one of, oh my god, why am I holding like that? With one of my Pat McGrath Labs blushes in the shade Flirtatious. I don't know why my throat's a little bit dry right now. It just feels weird. This water's from this morning, so it's not that old. So I just went in with the shade Flirtatious. I haven't used this shade in a hot minute. It always like translates to the face a bit warmer than it does in the actual, that it looks like in the pan. You think it's going to be more of like a cool tone pink, but it's kind of like a little bit warmer on the skin. So, but it is a pretty blush. And then for my highlight, I went in with my brand new shade of the Rare Beauty highlighter. So I got the shade Mesmerize. So I really wanted to use it today because I just got it in the mail, I think like 2 days ago. And I really like this, but I think it's because my highlighting brush is kind of not like the cleanest right now. So I think I'm going to wash my brushes tonight. It didn't apply as smoothly as I would have liked it to be, but it's still pretty. But that was like my own fault, but it's still a really pretty highlighter. So I'm a little bit annoyed at myself, but what are you going to do? And then I just set my face with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Spray. And then I just set my brows with my e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lip liner, I used the shade Brink from ColourPop. And then for my lips, so I wanted to use this Natasha Denona lipstick today since I did use the Natasha Denona palettes. This is the I Need a Nude shade in the shade Jennifer. But the color has seemed to have turned for some reason. So I don't know why, but it's become like kind of more of like a warm toned nude shade. And this lipstick like doesn't smell bad, but for some reason like the shade has turned a little bit. Do you see like the shade on the top is like totally different from the shade on the actual tube? Like it's supposed to be like a pink tone. So I applied it this morning. Like originally the film was just around like the tube here, like it wasn't really on the actual lipstick part. It was just like around like the bullet area, but for some reason like when I started applying it, it turned like a warm tone nude. It was so weird. So I just decided to go into a lipstick that I know is pink. So I just used the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the shade Back Talk because I didn't really have that much time to grab a lipstick today. So I just went in with that because I knew that would work. But it's just so bizarre. Like it's a little bit more of like a warmer tone nude compared to this one, but it's supposed to be a lot closer to this pink shade. That's like insane, right? I'm like a little bit annoyed about that because this lipstick is like $10 more than the Urban Decay ones, and the Urban Decay ones don't do that. And I think I got this one after the Natasha Denona, but it's not like this is a brand new lipstick, and they're totally fine. So I don't know, that's very weird. But just want to tell you guys about that. Okay, I will see you guys for another look tomorrow. I think I'm going out to dinner tomorrow with my family to celebrate my graduation. So, bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. So I wanted to tell you guys about another look for today. So I used the Anastasia eye primer, of course, to prime my eyes. And then I use the Dewdrop lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder, the Backstage powder. I went out to dinner with my family to celebrate my graduation. We went to like our favorite Italian restaurant. So I wore like this plaid shirt that my mom gave me. This is a really cute shirt, so I wanted to wear it again. I think I've only worn this like once, so I thought it would be cute to wear. And then for my eyes, I wanted to use the Natasha Denona gold palette today. Sorry that there's like a lot of glare, but it's like really metallic packaging. I haven't used this palette and I don't even know how long. So I don't know what is going on with the camera. Okay, that is way better. It was like a little bit dirty. So for my eyes, I used this shade in the crease. No, I used this shade in the crease, sorry. Then I darkened up the crease more with this shade right here, and then I used the dark brown on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I used this shade first, and then I topped it off with like more of like one of the sparkly toppers. And it looks so, so pretty. And then I just used Blanc Type by MAC on my brow bone. And then I took that same shade that I used in the defining area on top, underneath on my lower lash line, and then for my inner corners I use this really light like white sparkly color. It's super pretty, and that is all the shades that I used from this palette. I wanted to use this palette to go out tonight, and I usually try to use Natasha Denona or Dior or Pat McGrath when I go out for like a special occasion. I think it looked really pretty. So that is all the eyeshadows that I used. And then for my liner, where is it? I don't even know where it's at. Oh, there it is. I used the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade brown on my lower lash line. I love this liner. It's so good, and it just makes my like waterline look like really sultry. And then for my mascara, I'm a little bit tipsy because I had a couple of drinks because I got 2 drinks when I was with my family. So at the restaurant we were at, their cocktails are so good. Oh my god, I love them. And then for my mascara, I just went in with the Fenty Beauty one again. This is the Hella Thick mascara, and then I just went in with my Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then for my face, I used the Do It spray as per usual, and then I used the Say primer. This is the Super Glow gel primer. Now I realize why my face is so dewy, because I used this primer. Like, I was like, my face is hella glowy after using this foundation, but I was like, oh duh, I used this primer, but I think it looks so pretty. And then for my foundation, I used the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. I haven't used this foundation in a while, and this one's in the shade 00. I really like this foundation. It looks so good. So I just wanted to use that tonight. And then for my concealer, I wanted to use the Valentino concealer again. This is the shade Light R1. I don't know how I feel about this concealer. It does look nice right now, but it doesn't look great. So, and then for my under eyes and my T-zone, I just used the Pat McGrath Labs powder to set my under eyes, and then I just used my Backstage powder again by Dior to set the rest of my face. The rest of my face, and I really love this powder. I'm trying to, use it up more. And then for my bronzer, I used my Gucci bronzer in the shade 01. Y'all know how much I love this bronzer. And then for the blush, I also used my Gucci blush, and this one's in the shade 02 Apricot. Y'all know how much I love this blush. It's so beautiful. I got this because my boyfriend got me a gift card for Christmas, and I got this blush with it, and I love this blush. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. So pretty. If you have the money to splurge, I highly suggest that blush. And then I tried to go in with my Pat McGrath Labs highlighter, but my brush was still a little bit wet because I did wash my brushes last night. So I literally had to go over it because it just wasn't looking really good. So I went over it with my concealer again and then powdered it because it just didn't look good at all. So I decided to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. This is one of their older highlights, but oh my god, it looks so pretty though. So this one definitely looked better than the other one. I don't know what was going on with the Pat McGrath one, but it was not working with like the brush still being a little bit damp. And I just set my face with my Milk Makeup setting spray, and then I just used the e.l.f. Wow Brow in my brows. And then for my lips, I used the Pat McGrath Labs Structure Lip Liner. Y'all know how much I love this lip liner. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I always use it for special occasions. And then for my lips, I just went in with one of my all-time favorite lippies, and this is the Patrick Ta lipstick in the shade Oh She's Single. It's just a beautiful nude, so I just wanted to use that with this look, and it just looks so pretty. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I'll see you guys for another look tomorrow. Y'all know, you can tell that I'm a little bit tipsy, but I think it turned out pretty. And you always think it looks prettier when you're a little bit tipsy. So yeah, now I'm going to go watch shows with my mom. Tomorrow I'm going to see Guardians with my friends, so you guys will see what look I do for that tomorrow. So bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I wanted to tell you what's on my face for another look today. I'm going to see Guardians of the Galaxy tonight, Volume 3, so I'm very excited. I'm wearing my Chris Pratt shirt. I wear it for every single Guardians movie. I think I definitely wore it to the second one. I'm not sure if I wore it to the first one. I'm not sure if I owned it yet. I might have though. This is a pretty old shirt, so yeah, so I had to wear that. So I just primed my eyes with my Anastasia eye primer, then threw on my Dewdrop lip oil, and then just set my eyes with my Urban Decay powder. And then for my eyes today, I wanted to go like with a, galaxy themed palette, and I don't think I've worn this palette like all year, so I wanted to go in with my Star Wars palette from ColourPop. And also I haven't used ColourPop in like a couple days, so y'all know I gotta use ColourPop at least once or twice a week. So I wanted to do like a bluish look today to go with the galaxy theme, and also like, I think it turned out really pretty. So I went in with Starfighter first in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Rebellion, and then I used the black on the outer corners, which is called Star Destroyer. This is such a good black shade. Like, it is so pigmented. ColourPop does some really good black shades, so every black that they put in a palette, I always love. And then for my lid shade, I went into the shade Space Pirate, and that's one of the like tie-dye shimmers, and it's really, really pretty, but it doesn't really like, this one is a bit more multicolored than like the red-based one. I was thinking about doing this one, but I kind of wanted to just go with more of a bluer theme. And it does look really pretty on the eyes. You can see like all those different sparkles, like kind of like the stars in the night sky, and it looks so pretty in person. And then I just threw on Blanc Type by MAC on my brow bone. And then for the lower lash line, I went in with the shade Rebellion again on the like outer part to like add a bit more of like contrast on the, well, not contrast, just like a little bit more pigmentation. And then I went in with Kessel Rum just in between the inner corner and the outer part, and it looks so pretty. Again, ColourPop's silver shades are amazing. Most people like love the silvers from ColourPop. They're just amazing. And then for the inner corners, I used the shade Hyperdrive, and that's a really pretty like multicolor greenish gold, and I'm really like this look. I always forget like how good this palette is. It is a really, really good palette. So I'm really happy that I got to use that. I don't know if I'm going to wear these earrings. My like ears are bothering me right now. I don't know if I can wear earrings today. Like, I don't know what's going on with my ears. I don't think I'm going to be able to wear these because like these were hard to put on and they're bothering me. So I don't think I'm going to be able to wear them. Like, my ears are already turning red. Yeah, I don't think today's an earring day. I've been wearing earrings for the past couple of days, and for some reason like my ear holes are not appreciating it, so I'm just gonna leave them out. Okay, and then for my liner, I used the ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Outer Space. Of course, it's got like a bluish black shade. It's very pretty and really fitting for this. And then I just used my Essence Lash Primer and my Maybelline Lash Discovery on my lower lash line. And then for the mascara, I just went in with my favorite, which is the Can't Stop Staring mascara by Gwen Stefani. And then for my face, I used my usual primer when I go out, which is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I love this primer, and I just used the 4-3 Beauty Spray. And then I went in with my Holy Grail foundation, which is the Lancome Taint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation. I swear, every time I wear this foundation, I'm like, wow, my skin looks amazing. So, and I wanted to use it today. I'm in the shade 090 Ivory N. This one's just an amazing foundation. I've been through 2 bottles of it. It's just such a great foundation. And then, of course, I went in with my Holy Grail concealer, which is the Tarte Powerflex Concealer in the shade Porcelain Sand. And then to set my face, I just went in with the Urban Decay Stay Naked powder. It has, oh my god, I don't know why I can't keep this open to save my life. And just went in with the Pat McGrath Labs powder to set my under eyes and everywhere else in my T-zone. And then for my bronzer, I just went in with the Pat McGrath bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. I really have been enjoying this bronzer, so I just wanted to use it today. It's just an easy bronzer. And then for my blush, I was torn in between the ColourPop Queen of Hearts blush or this blush, but I decided to go in with this blush because it's a little bit more subtle than the Queen of Hearts one, so I decided to use the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Glow Blush again in the shade 30, which is Offbeat. What's so funny is that I just posted my Sephora haul today, and I was watching the Fancy Faces Sephora haul, and she just posted hers today. I'm like, I don't know how that was such a coincidence. And she was wearing this shade in that video, but I was planning to either wear this shade or the Queen of Hearts shade by ColourPop like last night already, but I decided to go in with this one. And this is a really pretty blush. I'm actually thinking that it's a bit more worth the price than I thought because it builds up really beautifully and it's very smooth on the skin. So I really like how it looks. I know it might be a bit warm for like the lip choice that I went with, but I still think it looks really pretty. And then for my highlighter, I went in with my Blend Bunny Noctilucent palette. I actually haven't used this in a little while, and I used the shade Apparition. That is like blinding you guys. And it's like this really pretty bluish, whitish green. It's so stunning. So I went in with that. And then for my, I just set my face with my Milk Makeup Spray. And I set my brows with my Wow Brow, the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then I just went in for the lips. I just went in with the Pat McGrath lip liner again in the shade Structure. I just felt like using it again, even though I used it yesterday. But it's like my most expensive liner. And then for my lips, I went in with this Colored Rain. What is this? Colored Rain. I'm just reading the brand again. Liquid lipstick in the shade Satin Cream. I actually won this in a giveaway on Debutante's channel, my dear friend Debbie. And this is a really pretty, like cool toned, very dark pinkish kind of shade. And it's so pretty. And I thought it looked really good with the crease shade. I have worn this a couple times. It's a very comfortable formula. But it was so funny because when I won this, I wasn't even on her live. And she told me, you won, so pick the lippy that you want. And she gave me an option of 3. And I was like, this one's really pretty. So I decided to pick this one. And it's really nice. Okay, that's it. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys for another look tomorrow. I'm so pumped to see this movie, so bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I wanted to tell you guys what was on my face today for another look. So I don't even know if this is look number 5 or 6. So all I did today was go and get a haircut with my mom. It took like an hour and a half, but I needed to get my haircut for my sister's wedding. I just filmed my favorites video too, so that's all done. So now I can just like chill after this because I'm really tired. I went to go see Guardians last night, like I told you guys. But I want to tell you guys what's on my face. So I just used my ColourPop Party Proof Primer and then my Dewdrop Lip Oil and then the Pretty Fresh Powder to set my eyes. And then for my eyes today, for eyeshadow, I used the Blend Bunny Cosmetics All Done Up palette. I'm not really obsessed with the way that my eyeshadow turned out today, to be honest. But it still looks good. Like, even if, like, my blending is not the greatest some days, like, we all have not the greatest makeup days, and you know what? That's okay. I still wore it and it's still gonna come off at the end of the day. So I used the All Done Up palette and I used mostly this row to get this look. So I used Close Up in the crease and I darkened up the crease more with Pouty, and then I used Ready on the outer corners, and then for the lid I went in with Wink. And then for the brow bone, I used the shade Natural. And you think that shade's going to be too dark for me, but it blends in perfectly that it looks really, really good. And then for the inner corners, I used the shade Centerfold. And that's everything that I used from the palette. Again, not obsessed with the look, but that's okay. Again, it comes off at the end of the day. And then for my liner, I just used my LA Girl liner, of course, in the shade brown. I don't know what the heck I just did to my hair. And then for the mascara and all of that, I just used the Essence Lash Primer, of course. And then I used the Item Beauty mascara. This is the Lash Snack mascara. And then I used my Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes as per usual. And then for my face, I used my Fourth Ray Beauty Do It Spray and then the Say Super Gel Glow Primer. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I used the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. I love this in the spring and summertime, and it just makes my skin look so beautiful. I'm like obsessed with the way my skin looks today, though. I had a good skin day, but not a good eyeshadow day, so can't win it all sometimes, but it looks so good. And then for my concealer, I just used my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser, if I could speak English, in the shade 065 Cool Ivory. I'm almost done with this guy. I'm probably going to go to Ulta at some point. I should have went today, but I need to pick up another one of these, and I need to pick up my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer because I'm almost out of that. And then to set my under eyes and everything, I used my Haus Labs Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. And then, of course, I just set the rest of my face again with my Pretty Fresh powder from ColourPop. And then for my bronzer, I just used my ColourPop matte bronzer in the shade Alviva Beach. I wasn't even sure what bronzer I wanted to use today, and then I was like, oh, I haven't used this one in a little while. I'll just throw this on. So that's what I used. It's still one of my favorite bronzers. And then for blush, I did go in with one of my favorite ColourPop blushes ever, and this is from the Celestial collection. I think this one was only an Ulta exclusive, and this is the shade Meteorite, and this is like the perfect everyday peachy toned, neutralish peachy blush. It's not really that orange either. It's just such a stunning blush. So I just wanted to go in with that today. It's one of my tried and true favorites. And then for a highlighter, I decided to go in with my Pixie Duo. I've used this one a ton, and I just wanted to, again, just go in with something that I've used a bunch of times. Like sometimes you just want to go in with some of your comfort products. I don't know why. I just spilled some water. I was just hoping it didn't go underneath the computer. So I used my Pixie by Petra Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Delicate Dew. Pixie is so expensive, but this is like the only thing I've ever picked up from Pixie because everybody would rave about it. So I got it like, I think like 2 years ago at this point, and I just mix both shades together and throw it on my face, and it just looks so pretty. And then I just used my Do It spray to set my face, and then I just used my ColourPop brow gel to set my brows. And then for my lips, I used the Rare Beauty tinted lip oil in the shade Joy. I wanted to use it again, and I think it looks very pretty. Again, this is not the actual lip product. That's just the corners of my mouth, so I can't do anything about that. I feel like it kind of wore off a little bit on the outer part, but it looks pretty. So yeah, I'm still trying to see whether or not I like this product. I think that it's nice, but I don't know if I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go because I'm super tired. So bye.